I have a very, very, very crazy story for you today. A CNN journalist is being accused of faking a hostage situation. And not only that it's a journalist accused of faking a hostage situation, you have to understand this is a journalist that faked news before. I'm talking about faked the massive disaster before. It is absolutely embarrassing for CNN. And honestly, this is the worst way they could end 2024. This will be the death of the media.
I can't tell though, it might just be a blanket. But it's the only cell that's locked. Is he gonna shoot it?
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door. We go in to get a closer look.
So what's happening right now? They are claiming that Clarissa Ward, which is the journalist that went viral for faking a emergency event before on CNN. They claim to have found a prisoner in the Assad Air Force Base in Damascus. So they're saying this is 5 days after the compound was freed, CNN walked in. So the compound was freed, CNN walks in. Everything cleaned out. Mind you, everything's cleaned out completely. So whoever's there was there. They're completely gone. Except everything was opened up except for one door. And the dude was under a blanket. So this is the thing I don't get. If you're in a prison and you're trapped there, you guys about to see it. Why the hell are you under a blanket instead of trying to get freed? Why are you just accepting your fate as a prisoner? None of it makes sense whatsoever. He didn't signal anything for 5 days. He didn't call for anyone. He didn't do anything. He just stayed there and rested. Oh, hopefully someone come and get me. They shoot the locks off the door and he still didn't stand up. Once they walked in to talk English, he still didn't stand up. But when the camera and everyone was ready, the dude just stood up out of nowhere and understood that they were there to rescue him. Watch this, guys. I mean, I have to break this down because it's so freaking absurd.
It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there? Is someone there? Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
Hello?
Oh man, I'm so sleepy. Ugh.
Look at you, guy. Under the cover, chilling hard as a villain.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
CNN, dude.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Humps and has been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay.
3 months.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
Not malnourished.
Clutches my arm tightly with both.
Why is he not malnourished at all? 3 months and he's not malnourished? I'm trying to figure out what does CNN gain from staging this event.
Hands.
Does anyone have any water? My. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
Shout out to Lord Bebo on X for the amazing coverage with this. This is absolutely embarrassing, and I'm sad to say it gets worse.
In a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky.
So dude walks up, which he was able to stand on his own, was he not? But now he's walking, being assisted outside, looking up as if he's Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles. I'm trying to figure out. So if he's ecstatic to be free, why didn't he try to get free? Why did he signal for anyone? I tell you what, if I be in a prison cell in a facility by myself for weeks or months, days, whatever it might be, 5 days is supposed to be. 5 days with this dude surviving, mind you, without being malnourished. But if I'm supposed to survive in that location 5 days by myself, I could hear a freaking rat squeak, the buzzing of the wings on a fly, and a scattering of roaches. There's no way in the hell I won't be able to hear them doors open. I wouldn't be able to hear those camera crews. And there's no way in the hell I wouldn't be screaming for my life to have someone come save me. This is weird. I don't know what they gained from it. Honestly, because Trump just wanted to be president, they get to have someone to be mad at all day. I mean, that gets people to watch it and it helps them make money. So I don't get where they're desperate enough to think they need to get views from being CNN. This is embarrassing.
My God, the light, he says. Oh God, there is light. My God, there is light.
The nigga knew there was light out there. Why were you even laying under the... Okay, if he's someone that wants light so bad, why hide from it under the cover? Oh, but Dom, he was asleep. He wasn't sleeping. It's the middle of the daytime. Dude's wide awake. This is so set up. And you're about to see Clarissa is not to be trusted.
Stay with me, stay with me, he repeats again and again. For 3 months, I didn't know anything about my family. I didn't hear anything about my children. The fighter hands him something to eat, barely lifted to his mouth. But his body can't handle it.
Okay, you're okay.
His captors fled during the fall of Damascus, leaving him with no food or water. That was at least 4 days ago. I'm shaking. My face is shaking, he says. The rebel tells him there's no more army, no more prisons, no more checkpoints.
Why do they have to tell him this?
Serious, he says?
Guys, I'm not lying. And God forgive me if this is completely validated. Dude, this is... It just screams fake, and it's unfortunate because it's from the mainstream media. You guys no longer have the trust of the masses. When you bring something out like this, a individual that looks well fed, well hydrated, talking about light. Bro, you've been seeing the light for the whole time. It's very annoying that they insult people's intelligence. My main argument is 5 days inside that cell, he should look a whole lot more dirtier. Why? Because it's an individual that would be trying to get out. It's an individual that would have stressed himself to lose some weight. I mean, God damn, why wouldn't they at least get someone to look malnourished? I know I keep saying that word, but is this a joke? I want to know if I am left inside of a room for 5 days without the ability to eat or drink, would I come up looking as good as he does? I mean, if honestly, if I look that good, I might need to start locking myself in a room for 5 days so I can goddamn get healthy. Because the man looks healthier than a lot of Americans. I don't know if that says a lot about America or if it says a lot about CNN with the story.
Syria is free, he tells him. It's the first time he has heard those words.
This is so... And you see how they have to emphasize that it's the first time that he heard those words? And now he looks like he gives him a diddy kiss. I don't know what happens after that, but... Of course, they're showing that the dude is ecstatic and super excited. I don't trust it.
إلى هذه العواجل التي تظهر أمامنا على الشاشة في إطار التطورات في سوريا.
So here comes the fun parts. Now we're about to see what the Arab nations got to say.
الصدر العربية الفصائل المسلحة تسيطر على مقر المخابرات الجوية في السويداء. طبعا هذا بعد اشتباكات كانت تدور في هذه المنطقة وفي هذا المقر وكذلك في مقر أمن الدولة في السويداء. إذن الفصائل المسلحة بعد هذه الاشتباكات التي أظهرنا وعرضنا جانبا منها على الهواء مباشرة، الفصائل المسلحة تسيطر على مقر المخابرات الجوية في السويداء. إذن سنتابع كل جديد من هذه التطورات في حال ورود أي جديد حولها كذلك في السويداء التي انسحبت العديد من القوات السورية أو قوات الحكومة السورية منها. نعود لنظهر الصور.
So they're saying that, you know, night 6, they're saying that there were clashes and whatnot down there in Syria, which would have, you know, it was 5 days ago when it happened that this dude should have been left there. But it says armed factions have taken control of the Air Force, intelligence headquarters in Sweden, Syria, following intense clashes with Syria forces, according to Al Arabia sources. Don't see anything about, you know, them leaving all their
التي
prisoners
كانت
behind.
تظهر الاشتباكات في قسم المخابرات الجوية في السويداء وكذلك في مقر أمن الدولة هناك.
So let's get to the better part of this.
Clarissa is on the ground right now. Clarissa, tell us what's happening.
Stand by.
Hi, John. So forgive me, I have a slightly unelegant position, but we have just had a massive barrage of rockets coming in here, not too far from us. So we have had to take shelter here by the roadside. We're just about 5 minutes away. Gaza is in.
So mind you, this is the individual Clarissa who got caught faking a emergency interaction in Gaza. It's one of the most, I don't want to say pathetic, but it's truly sad to see them be as desperate as they are. And this is the same person that found that hostage out in Syria, that prisoner. So it's led to some people wondering the authenticity of the whole thing. I'm not here to say that this interaction right here is fake, but the entire internet did. And trust me, at the end of this video, you're going to be seeing the thoughts and opinions of everyone and how many people are truly just destroying this entire narrative that CNN came to save the day and get rid of all the big bad people of the world and free all the hostages. It's like, since when did CNN play such an important role in society?
That direction. We can hear now a lot of jets in the sky. We could also hear the Iron Dome intercepting a number of those rockets as they were whizzing overhead and making impact in that direction, not too far from here. We came to this location because this was ground zero for this entire operation of carnage. Hamas militants came on a pickup truck. This was the first place where they breached that border wall, and they basically drove down this strip, just spraying lead wherever they went. We saw, in fact, I was just grabbing it before that happened and we had to hit the deck, but heavy weaponry being used. It's saying we can get up now. Where are we moving to? Sorry, just 1 second, guys. Okay.
Just come up and go this way and then.
All right, so now I can show you the scene here. This is where those militants first came, opening up fire on all.
Very interesting. So tell me why Clarissa was laying on the ground. And that's kind of what really destroyed her entire narrative when this first happened. She's laying on the ground for no reason, saying that she was dodging from gunfire. Yet no one returned the fire. No one killed the people that were shooting at her. So I'm trying to figure out how is it just a safe location all of a sudden for her to just to stand up and point and wave and do all this and that. It doesn't really make much sense to me, or nor did it make much sense to the entire world. I just don't understand why Clarissa is constantly being in these situations that look extremely fake and they're being portrayed as the truth. It's a very, very dangerous thing. And people can laugh at it, but it's very dangerous. Because what happens if it ain't funny? What happens if people believe it? What happens if they accomplish their goal? And let's say these things true. Let's say they're staging it. We have proof that it's all being staged. What does that tell us about the things that we don't catch? What does that tell us about the media? Hell, what does that tell us about reality? It could all very well be fake and manipulated in the offices. I want to reference something, a movie called Vice, and it was about Dick Cheney. And in this movie, it was interesting. They had a scene that was about when CNN and other mainstream media companies was at the White House for a briefing. And they were the ones that came up with the stories of the mushroom clouds, weapons of mass destruction. They actually put that in the Vice. But it was through the media. And one of the most interesting parts of this is that the CNN, I believe it was CNN, the Washington Post, whoever it was in the movie, referencing the mainstream media, they was like, okay, mushroom clouds of fire, weapons of mass destruction. Who wants to be the anonymous source for the story? And one of the individuals just raised their hand, and then boom, you got an anonymous source in that story itself. Now, that is interesting to me. It shows how easy it is for these people to manipulate reality and tell us exactly what it is when it isn't. So if they're able to do that at the top level of the White House, who's to say they don't set up these movie studios somewhere in Oklahoma, Nevada, Texas to do these things? They have the budget for it. There is no media company that is, to me, as successful as CNN in terms of reach. They would have the ability.
All these vehicles, there's a baby carriage down there turned over on its side. You can see over there, Clayton, if you just show in the distance there, some kind of strikes, looks like in Gaza as well. Return fire. Or is that the smoke from the rocket launches? Forgive me. It's a little difficult after being crouched in a ditch to know exactly what's been going on.
So anyone in doubt, this is what you have to see. And after this, you're going to see everyone's response. Here's the full video. No edits for you to see. And tell me how ridiculous this looks. This dude the entire time was laying back there. He knew that the people had fled because, I mean, you 5 days there by yourself. Why would you not get up? Unless you tell him he was so afraid that he was going to hide under the cover. He thought they were going to put him to sleep. Dude, what happened to the other prisoners? Why didn't they execute them? Or why didn't they take you with them? At the end of the day, he would have had at least enough know-how to understand that he wasn't in danger. Yet he raises his hand like, what's going on? Dude, you should have got out the cover for that.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian. He tells the fighter he's from the city of Homs and has been in the cell for 3 months. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. He clutches my arm tightly with both hands. Okay. Does anyone have any water? Water. My. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. We start to walk him outside.
I'm just saying the man was able to do this stuff on his own, and then I just can't get over that whole walking him out.
Thank God you are safe. Don't be afraid, the fighter says. You are free. This is the 3rd prison they brought me to, he says. The 3rd prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky. My God, the light, he says. Oh God, there is light. My God, there is light. Okay.
Look at this. It is just... Oh, and they got a chair. They just got a perfectly padded chair.
Stay with me. Stay with me.
Such nice Syrians. Chat, am I doing too much to say that chair looked like it came directly from a CNN studio in San Francisco? This is a joke.
I didn't know anything about my family. I didn't hear anything about my children.
3 months and come on, bro.
The fighter hands him something to eat. He barely lift it to his mouth. But his body can't handle it. Okay, you're okay. His captors fled during the fall of Damascus, leaving him with no food or water. That was at least 4 days ago. I'm shaking. My face is shaking, he says. The rebel tells him there's no more army, no more prisons, no more checkpoints. Are you serious, he says? Surya Harra. Syria is free, he tells him. It's the first time he has heard those words. He tells us his name is Adil Khurbal, and that
It's such
officers
BS.
from the much-feared Mukhabarat intelligence services took him from his home and began interrogating him about his phone. They brought me here to Damascus. They asked me about names of terrorists, he says. Did they hit you, the fighter asks? Yes, yes, he says. As a paramedic arrives, the shock sets in. There's nothing. Everything's okay. The Red Crescent is coming to help you, this man assures him. You are safe. Don't be afraid anymore. Everything you are afraid of is gone. Tens of thousands of Syrians have disappeared in Assad's prisons. Up until 15 minutes ago, Adel Khurbal was one of them. He is still petrified. Don't be afraid, the ambulance worker reassures him. Every car I got into, they blindfolded me, he says. It is the end of a very dark chapter for him and for all of Syria. But so many ghosts remain.
So, chat, check this. Here is the internet's response to it, and they are getting absolutely flamed by everyone. And it's not just X, it's just X is a lot easier to find. And I added this compilation, but it gets a little bit worse with it. They actually got community noted by Twitter itself, and there it is. The community note is an individual who actually was once a hostage in Syria, and he himself says he does not believe this story, which is pretty damning. This individual went into great detail breaking it down. Here we go. We're about to scroll up and we're about to go to his story as of right now. So, boom. If you see right here, it says, I was detained twice in Syria. I think it was staged. CNN should investigate. Happy to be proven wrong. And he dropped the whole thread breaking this down. It's worth the read. I'm going to play this pretty slowly so you guys can be able to pause the video and read through that. And he pretty much exposed the whole thing. I will say this. It wouldn't be the first time for CNN, nor would it be the last. But like I said, if this is something that they did do and they tried to get away with it, how many things have they actually gotten away with? It's very terrifying when you start to think about it. Even scarier when you start to think about how many people might not like, comment, or subscribe after this video. Also, click the notification bell to stay updated so we can keep doing this and break more narratives. All right. Thank you, guys.